In this video, I'm gonna show you 3 super easy but stunning ideas to decorate your journal in this sweet time of the year between autumn and the start of the winter. I'm gonna use minimal supplies so you don't have to break the bank. As always, stay until the end and grab a pen and paper to take a lot of notes. Hi everyone, this is Carlo and welcome back to my channel. I received a lot of nice comments about the falling leaves that I created out of recycled paper in the last video. So I decided that the first layout that we're gonna do today will feature more of them in an even more fabulous version. This time I've used recycled craft paper bags along with pages from an old music book. These are so lovely. Also pages from a book of poems, still as vintage as possible, and ultimately a piece of orange vellum paper that will create some translucent little leaves. Once again, I've used an ink pad to transfer the structure of my leaves to the paper, like if they're stamps. I'm gonna stamp all the different papers that I have, because we're gonna have a fantastic variety this time. Since my fingers were getting super dirty with ink, I thought about wearing some latex gloves, also to give you that crossover with Grey's Anatomy that you didn't know you needed. Once I've finished with stamping, I draw the outline of each leaf and I cut all of them with a small pair of scissors. I sort them by type and I'm gonna paint half of them and leave the other half natural. I'm not gonna paint any of the vellum paper ones because the texture of the paper is not great for watercolor. As I did last time, I placed the leaves on a sturdy cardboard to protect my work table. And I dabbed them with a diluted mixture of watercolor in all the shades of autumn. I allow some time for them to dry and I stain them with a sponge and a brown ink pad. All my assortment of leaves is now complete, and for my journal page I want to create a kind of a wreath. So I need a circular shape, the bottom of a glass will do. I traced the circle with a pencil, and now the idea is to glue my leaves following the circle, clockwise, slightly overlapping them. To make the wreath look full, you can glue smaller leaves here and there where the gaps are. If you don't have smaller leaves, you can cut smaller the ones you have, making sure you keep the skeleton always central. The skeleton? What was that? The skeleton of the leaf. I don't know if it's correct. I've used more leaves to decorate the rest of the journal spread. And with colored pencils I've added small branches and wheat and additional foliage to complete the seasonal look. You can add all the details you want to this. I've cut little baubles from sparkly rose gold washi tape and they look very cute. Feel free to add a sash in the middle with a word or a quote on it. On this spread I journaled about time, and this particular time of the year, and I've used a Unipin sepia pen which blended very well with the composition. The first layout of today is finished. Of course you can use the rest of the leaves to decorate more and more pages, or why not, also to decorate your house for this lovely season. Autumn and winter are the perfect seasons also to explore darker themes and layouts. I found great inspiration on Pinterest and I want to show you how easily you can replicate this moon and stars / zodiac theme for your journal. First of all, you need a sheet of black paper of the exact size of your open journal, or slightly smaller if you want to leave a little border all around. For my project, I calculated the size of each page minus 1 cm each side, multiplied by 2, because I'm gonna create the full design first and then divide it between the 2 pages. In a little plastic cup, I put a tiny amount of acrylic gesso. The tip of a brush will do. If you don't have acrylic gesso, you can use acrylic paint or tempera or gouache. I add a little water to create an emulsion that is semi-transparent. You can test it on the borders of your cup. We want it to be able to color the plastic but still keep a degree of transparency. Once we are satisfied with the mix, we use a common sponge to dab the mixture on the paper. The idea is to create clouds in a night sky, so after dabbing, we apply a circular movement to soften the edges and spread the transparent white on the page. Once it dries, if you want a more visible effect, you can repeat the operation, tweaking the concentration of white pigment in the mix. I'm gonna use now different sized circular shapes to draw some full moons on our page. Keep some kitchen towel next to you because we're gonna need it. Using metallic gel pens, I've used the Uniball Signo golden and silver ones, we trace circles on the page at different heights, trying to keep the composition balanced. We color the inside of every full moon, and while the gel pen is still not completely dry, we grab a kitchen towel and absorb part of the pigment, applying a light pressure and a circular movement. This will create these kind of craters and simulate the moon's surface. The smaller moons can also be decorated with little dots or triangles or rays if you want them to look like tiny suns. At this point, with a ruler and a white pen, I traced vertical lines that will pass through the middle of each moon, without actually passing through them. I know it sounds a bit gibberish, but I swear it makes sense in my mind. Feel free to decorate this design furtherly with more moons and elements. On the other side of the page, I've drawn a mason jar, still using Uniball Signo gel pens, and I've added little stars trapped inside it. The little stars are basically just dots of white of different sizes that we're gonna apply also to the rest of the page. I felt that the composition needed to be more balanced, so I added lines and moons on this side as well. Once the design is complete, I traced a vertical line in the middle. I cut the design in half and glued it on my journal pages, keeping a little border around each page. Coldplay and their song A Sky Full of Stars provided the lyrics for my journaling on these pages. The spread is now complete and I'm very pleased with how it looks. You can also reinterpret the elements of this spread and create different themes. For example, here I've used the stars for a zodiac theme dedicated to autumn-winter star signs. Gel pens on black paper really give incredible results and a world of possibilities for your journals. Are you ready for the last layout of today? This is the season when we find a strange pleasure in more rainy, gloomy and moody days, and we can hear the sound of the raindrops on the window pane. So this next layout is dedicated to the rain, and I want to show you how easily you can replicate drops of rain on your journal pages. This method works only on tinted paper, so make sure you're using grey, light blue or cream or craft paper like I'm using on this journal. For these pages, I've used two soft pencils, a 2B and a 3B. Also two coloring pencils, a white one and a light blue one, and my beloved Uniball Signo white gel pen. Which is like parsley when you're cooking Italian. You put it everywhere, it's always great. With the 2B pencil, we draw the outline of our raindrops. We want some of them dribbling down along the whole page, and other ones to be round or the shape of a red kidney bean. So yes, add a bit of variety also in terms of sizes and shapes. Once we have all the outlines ready, with a white coloring pencil we color the portion of drop on the left hand side and part of the bottom side. Like a curved shadow inside the line, not outside. For the dribbling drops, we color the left hand side. Remember, this is inside the pencil outline. Now, with the 3B pencil, we're gonna add a little shadow on the top right corner of every drop, still inside the outline. And we soften it a bit with the finger, we don't want it to look too harsh. On the dribbling drops, we add intermittent lines, still blending them with the finger. With the same pencil, we add a little shadow, this time outside the outline of the drop, on the left bottom corner. Keep the pencil very light, because after this we're gonna use a light blue coloring pencil to add a sort of a soft glow around this shadow, which will help us suggesting that these are drops of water on a window pane. Ultimately, with a white gel pen we add a lot of little droplets all over the place, just to enrich the overall effect. And we also add a tiny point of light on every drop, where the white pencil mark is. And our background is finally complete. We can now journal on these pages writing straight on the paper or using scrapbook elements like I did here. I chose to journal on a piece of tracing paper, which gives also the idea of a frosted window pane and allows a perfect gliding for a fountain pen. And that's pretty much it for today. 3 simple but effective ideas that will accompany your journaling across autumn to the winter season. Feel free to let me know if you tried any of them. If you like this video, don't forget to check the journaling playlist on my channel. And feel free to like, comment, share and subscribe if you haven't already. This was me, Carlo, and as usual, take care and I will see you soon.